Okay. 5 o'clock, we recording? Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge to the flag. I can't talk. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First thing on the agenda, we have 3 public hearings. The first one is a special exception for 161 Montauk Highway to construct 2 second-story dwelling units. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So this is an application that requires a special exception from the Board of Trustees, basically to construct 2 dwelling units on the second floor of a building being constructed that has commercial use on the first floor. And it's special exception due to the fact that the dwelling unit's on the second story. And it's 161 Montauk Highway. Is there any member of the public that would like to speak or has a question about that? Any board member questions?
No.
Okay. This has been discussed at our work session previously, so I think we're ready to we do have a resolution ready for this later in the meeting. So now I need a motion to close the public hearing.
So make a motion? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next special exception, again, is on Citarella's outdoor tables, chairs, and their display permit. It's an annual permit that requires a special exception from the Board of Trustees. And I need a motion to open that public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is Citarella's has submitted an application and does have a layout with 16 seats and 4 tables and a display layout as well. And again, this was discussed in a previous work session. Does any member of the public have any questions or comments on this application? No. Board members, anyone?
Nope.
Okay. So once again, we have a resolution on the agenda for this. I don't think that'll be a problem. I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next public hearing is to amend the code 141 sewers. I need a motion to open the public hearing and then I'll go through a brief explanation.
Motion to open.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This has to do with the contract between the Village of West Hampton Beach and Suffolk County for the arrangement between the 2 entities for the Gabreski plant and the conveyance system. As most of you know, we've already completed that construction and conveyed the possession of that to Suffolk County. But there are issues within that agreement that have to be ironed out when it comes to billing for operation and maintenance. So we are negotiating with Suffolk County at this time. The reason this is on for a public hearing is I thought we would have those issues resolved, but we do not. Our attorney is still negotiating with the Suffolk County attorney on the best way to proceed on this. So I would like to hold this public hearing open for our next meeting to continue this discussion when we have a resolution in hand. So I don't need a motion to hold it open. We just hold it open. Any questions from the board?
Nope.
No.
Member of the public? Nope. Okay. So that one will remain open. With that, that brings us to the resolutions, but I have one announcement I would like to make first. I would like to congratulate our village clerk treasurer, Denise Mordente. She has received the designation as a registered municipal clerk by New York State Association of City and Village Clerks. She's going to receive a plaque and a pin and all kinds of recognition, and this is on top of her being recognized and being a presenter at some of these conferences and conventions. So I think she deserves a round of applause. Okay.
Very proud.
Okay. Nice job.
Or
Okay.
song, I don't know.
All right. And that brings us to the resolutions. So, Mr. Rizzo, if you would begin.
Resolved that the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting of May 7th, 2026 and May 20th, 2026 are hereby accepted.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
resolved that the police department's building inspectors, treasurers, and justice court's May 2026 reports are hereby accepted.
Second,
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
resolved that the warrants for March 2026 in the amount of $499,129.97 from general fund for the general fund, $7,035.50 from the capital fund are hereby approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Oh, May.
It's May 2026. It says March.
Oh,
Oh, May. Okay, a correction. So I guess we need to second it with the correction.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Didn't catch that one.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees approves the promotion of Ty Kozlow to Automotive Equipment Operator at a semi-monthly salary of $3,111.65, effective June 1st, 2026, as per 2026-2031 AME contract.
second.
All in favor?
Aye. Whereas Joseph Guerrera, as applicant for Citarellas, has applied for a special exception permit for a maximum total of 16 seats and 4 tables and outdoor display per Village Code, located at 141 Montauk Highway, West Hampton Beach, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 905-005-002-009.002. Whereas the applicant submitted a sketch plan of the location and the design of the proposed tables, seats, and display. And whereas the public hearing was held before the Board of Trustees on May 20th, 2026.
that be
Was
today?
that today? Should that be for today?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
All right.
that should be June 4th.
June 4th, 2026, pursuant to Section 196-3D and 140-4B of the Village Code. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the placement of chairs, tables, and display as shown on the submitted plan, subject to all conditions and limitations, subject to Village Code Chapter 196 and 140.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes the mayor to sign the renewal of the 12-month contract with DACWA not to exceed $6,096.48.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the Hampton Flea use of village property application for the Vintage Market on the Village Green on June 28th, 2026, July 26th, 2026, August 23rd, 2026, and September 27th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with setup starting at 7 a.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the West Hampton Beach Project Use of Village Property application for the use of the Great Lawn on July 24th, 2026 and July 25th, 2026 from 6:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. with a rain date of July 26th, 2026, subject to receipt of all fees, supporting applications, and insurance documents.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
whereas the public hearing was held before the village trustees at the municipal building, 165 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach, New York, and on the second day of April 2026 to amend Chapter 197 entitled Zoning of the Code, the Village of West Hampton Beach, and whereas the Suffolk County Planning Commission via correspondence dated May 8th, 2026 determined the proposed amendment to be a matter of local determination, And whereas the Building and Zoning Department has found the proposed amendment to be a type 2 action under 6 NYCRR 617.5 C33 SUQR without the need for further environmental review. Now therefore be it resolved that after due deliberation, the Board of Trustees of West Hampton Beach hereby adopts the local law as advertised. And be it further resolved, the village clerk is hereby directed to enter said local law in the records of the village and to give due notice of the adoption of said local law number 6 to the Secretary of State.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Robert Gronenthal and Nicholas Lyon as seasonal police officers at a rate of $34.50, effective June 5th, 2026, pending civil service approval and completion of the background investigation
Second.
Another, that should be $34.50 per hour.
per hour.
So second as amended.
Second as amended.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the year-end budget transfers as set forth in the attached list.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the purchase of a F600 truck for DPW from Motors Ford not to exceed $440,000 and to be paid out of GL account code A5110.2 equipment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whereas an application was made on behalf of 161 Montauk Highway LLC, owner of property located at 161 Montauk Highway, Suffolk County Tax Map 905-005-02-012.001, hereafter to be referred to as the subject property for the establishment of 2 single-family dwelling units, 2 bedrooms each, on the second story of 2 proposed mixed-use buildings. And whereas the 2-bedroom dwelling units above stores and business districts require a special exception and are subject to conditions as provided by 197-40.1 of the Code of the Village of West Hampton Beach. And whereas the proposed dwelling units are part of a mixed-use development project located at the subject property that was identified as an unlisted action with a negative declaration of significance under SEQR by the Village Planning Board, acting as lead agency on October 12th, 2023, and whereas a public hearing for the special exception use of dwelling units was held before the village trustees at the municipal building, 165 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach, New York, on the 4th day of June 2026. Whereas the Board of Trustees considered the matters set forth in 197-80 of the Code of the Village of West Hampton Beach in making special exception determinations. Now therefore be it resolved that after due deliberation, the Board of Trustees of the Village of West Hampton Beach hereby grants the special exception for the establishment of 2 two-bedroom dwelling units, one above each building at 161 Montauk Highway, West Hampton Beach, Suffolk County Tax Map 905-005-02-012.001, and as depicted on the associated plan prepared by Nicholas Vero, RA, and last dated January 15th, 2026. And be it further resolved that in accordance with 197-79 of Article 8 of the Code, the Board of Trustees determines that the special exception use will not prevent the orderly and reasonable use of the adjacent properties or of properties in the surrounding area or impair the value thereof, that the special exception use will not prevent the orderly and reasonable use of permitted or legally established uses in the district wherein the proposed special exception use is to be located, or permitted or legally established uses in adjacent districts, that the safety, health, welfare, comfort, convenience, or the order of the village will not be adversely affected by the proposed special exception use and its location, and that the special exception use will preserve and protect the environment and be in harmony with and promote the general purposes and intent of this chapter.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Whereas the village has received applications for use of outdoor tables, chairs, benches, music, and displays for 2026 from Collect and Fun Shows, and whereas after considering information supplied by the Suffolk County Department of Health Services, the Suffolk County Sewer Agency, and the village's building administrator, the Board of Trustees determined special exception permits should be issued for outdoor seating and tables and music and displays. Consideration was given where there were incidents or reports filed with the police department or changes concerning said uses. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the placement and use of outdoor seating, tables, and outdoor music and displays as shown on the submitted plans for the listed establishments, subject to all revised conditions on plans on file.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes refund payment of 2025-26 tax year in the amount of $7,421.95 to the property owner specified below as a settlement of small claims as ordered by the New York State Supreme Court. Should I read them all?
No,
No, okay.
it's listed there, so it's not
That's
necessary.
okay. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees do hereby approve the summer craft schedule for the Historical Society events from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on July 18th, July 25th, August 1st, and August 8th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I think I'll volunteer to read this one
Okay.
so the trustees don't get mad at our attorney.
Throw me under the bus.
So, whereas prior to July 6, 2015, it had been the practice of the Village of West Hampton Beach, the village to provide medical and dental insurance benefits to active and retired elected officials, mayors, trustees, and village justices who attained eligibility pursuant to village policy and NISHIP rules and regulations. And whereas the provision of medical and dental insurance is not a contractual right, but rather a gratuity that the village bestowed upon eligible elected officials using its discretionary authority. And whereas by resolution adopted on July 6, 2015, the Board of Trustees rescinded the prior policy related to medical and dental insurance benefits to the mayor and the trustees and revoked the right of any current or future departing mayor or trustees to retain free lifetime medical and dental insurance benefits from the village, but did not rescind such policies with respect to the benefits to village justices or to retired mayors and trustees who had a vested right to receive such benefits. And whereas the July 6, 2015 resolution implemented a new policy that beginning on July 6, 2015, 1, medical and dental insurance for acting mayors and trustees elected, re-elected, or appointed on or after June 20th, 2014 would only be provided to such mayor or trustees upon payment of the full insurance premium cost to the village and provided that the mayor or trustee qualifies for the insurance coverage pursuant to the provisions of the relevant insurance plan. And whereas by resolution adopted October 3rd, 2024, the village further modified the medical and dental insurance policy by extending the availability of the NISHIP benefits to 1, elected village officials, and 2, appointed village board members who are paid an annual salary by the village, provided that such elected official or board member pay the cost of the coverage, including both the employer and employee contributions. And whereas the board has continued to evaluate the medical and dental insurance policy and believes that further changes are warranted, beginning with the next fiscal year to start on July 1, 2026, in order to provide a scaled percentage of contribution paid by the village toward elected officials' medical and dental benefit corresponding to the elected officials' reported hours to the New York State Retirement System. Now therefore be it resolved that for active elected officials, mayors, trustees, and village justices who choose to participate in NISHIP benefits, medical and dental insurance, the village will contribute to the cost of such officials' coverage, i.e. the cost of the health and dental insurance premium, on a percentage basis that corresponds to the individual official's hours of service as reported to the New York State Retirement System in 4 incremental rates as follows. 1, for full-time service, which shall be deemed 1,736 hours or more per full year, the village's contribution to the cost of coverage shall be 85% of the premium. 2, for three-quarter time service, which shall be deemed between 1,302 and 1,735 hours per full year. The village's contribution to the cost of the coverage shall be 63% of the premium. 3, for half-time service, which shall be deemed between 868 hours and 1,301 hours per full year. The village's contribution to the cost of the coverage shall be 42% of the premium. 4, for quarter-time service, which shall be deemed to be 434 and be between 434 and 867 hours per full year. The village's contribution to the cost of the coverage shall be 21% of the premium. 5, for service under 434 hours per full year, there shall be no village contribution to the cost of coverage. And 6, for any partial year of service, the above contribution rate shall be determined by prorating the annual hourly service rates set forth above for a full year to account for the length of the partial year of service in question. For example, an official who serves exactly half a year shall be deemed to have provided full-time service. The official reports at least 868 hours over said half-the-year period, i.e. 50% of the 1,736 hourly requirement for full-time service per full year. And be it further resolved that a foregoing contributions to be made by the village shall be determined and paid as a reimbursement to the official after the elected officials' hours of service have been reported to the New York State Retirement System. B, the mayor and the village clerk are authorized and directed to establish and oversee the process for participating elected officials to submit reimbursement requests no later than May for the applicable village fiscal year, and for the review of such requests before the reimbursements are authorized by the board. And C, until such reimbursements are made and approved, the elected official shall continue to be responsible for the payment of the premiums. Be it further resolved that upon termination of the office of any elected official who is receiving health and dental benefits and may be entitled to the reimbursement as provided by this policy, whether such termination is a result of the expiration of the term of office, voluntary retirement, or other cause, the village's contribution to such officials' cost of premium shall be deemed to terminate automatically on the date of the official's termination of the office, and any reimbursement shall be limited to the period of time prior to the termination, while taking into account the prorated service requirements described above. And be it further resolved that in addition to the foregoing policy change applicable to active elected officials, retired elected officials who have vested 10 years at the time of retirement under NISHIP guidelines shall be given the option to participate in medical and dental benefits, provided that such retired elected official pay the cost of coverage without any contribution from the village. And be it further resolved that any policy statements, benefit summaries, and/or employee manuals shall be modified in accordance with the resolution. The mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the policy change encompassed by this resolution. And the village clerk is hereby authorized and directed to ensure that any and all notices that may be required pursuant to COBRA, NISHIP, or any other applicable law, rule, or regulation necessary in order to effectuate this resolution be timely issued, filed, and otherwise implemented. And be it further resolved that the current village justice, Robert A. Kelly Jr., shall be exempt from the policy change affected by this resolution, but all future village justices shall be bound by the new policy encompassed in this resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We did have an additional resolution for the Historical Society. Did we,
The craft?
Oh, the craft.
Crafts
craft?
16?
Yeah, I read that.
You
Yeah.
read that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I moved it before the.
Oh, you moved, okay.
yeah.
Well, I remember some things. Okay, so that concludes all of our resolutions. That brings us to the public comment section. Is there any comment from the members of the public? No. Okay. Any questions or things from the board?
Nope.
Okay, I need a motion to close. We do not have an executive session, so
All right.
hallelujah.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're done.
All right.
Okay.